Hello, writers. Come write with me. My name is Michaela Greenwood. I create worlds for mind adventures. Welcome to my channel, Write with Michaela. Don't forget to like and subscribe and hit the bell so you can go on this journey with me. If this is your first time joining me, I'm very excited to have you here on my channel. If you've been with me from the beginning or somewhere along the journey, then I am very glad that you are returning. Today is story time, or the day of our chapter exchange. If you're writing with me and you wish to exchange chapters, then send your chapter with written permission to writewithmichaela@gmail.com. I will post the email address at the end of the video and in the description below. I'm looking forward to reading your chapters. All chapters or writing prompts read on the channel, whether they are mine or another writer's work, are copyright protected material, and no one may use any part in writing their own stories. This story is PG-13, so if you're under 13 years of age, you need parental guidance. This story is in its rough draft stage, just as the last stories we've read. The title of this story is Elloni's Pride, and today we are reading Chapter 3 out of Book 2. If you would like to read along, then send to the email I stated earlier and request a PDF of the chapter. Make sure you are specific. Now let's start. Elloni's Pride, Book 2. Regrouping, Chapter 3. Night Walking. Elloni raised her head and looked around, but she only saw one twin. She started to panic. Don't worry, thought Baldian. The tailors taught her a lot of things. I tried to keep up, but I don't think I got everything. I think she is night walking. Excuse me. Pardon me. Which in a way doesn't make sense because she didn't physically get up and go anywhere. Her body just faded to golden dust, and the dust drifted away. How will she find us? When will she return if she can find us? Thought Elloni. Thankfully, I remember some of these lessons. These were before the tailors brought everything back from the castle. Anyway, before you night walk, you are supposed to leave an anchor in the ground. I'm not sure what an anchor is. Libya asked if it was like the string her ma used to anchor her stitches or something, and that didn't help me. The tailor teaching said she could think of it like that. Anyway, look, and you can see the string of golden dust. I think Libya tied it to the flower or stuck it in the ground. I didn't get closer to see exactly because I don't want to be standing on her when she returns. I need to revisit that lesson. Elloni nodded her understanding and then looked carefully to see the golden dust, and she indeed saw dust attached to the ground and then streaming to the east. Elloni curled back up and didn't worry on it. She hoped the anchor stayed put and Libya could find them again. If not, she would use her link and find Libya, her linker, once again. Libya was confused as to her location. She couldn't seem to see anyone. She couldn't see any dragons, or her sister, Lydia, or the witch, Soflin. Another strange thing was they hadn't stopped in the woods. They were still in the meadow, although the trees were in sight. And she didn't think anyone would leave her. Libya walked through the trees until she saw some golden dust. She walked toward the golden dust for a little bit, and then she saw the dust around herself. She turned back and saw the dust behind her in a trail. She took a few steps towards the dust and looked back again. Her trail was still there. The golden dust led her around some rocks and to a cave entrance. Then Libya thought she was having a vision and learning the location of another dragon, so she would need to pay attention to the path back to Elloni and the others. She didn't want to startle the baby dragon, so she entered cautiously. Libya didn't see an egg. She saw men in armor, and that scared her. She almost immediately turned around and left, but a soldier asked her, "Are you lost?" The words seemed loud and distorted to her. The soldier held out his hand to her, and the other soldiers looked over at her. "My name is Commander Cogsmith. King Fatewright would like to meet you." Fatewright? Thought Libya. Not Daemantade? Are there two kings? "Someone get the king," stated Commander Cogsmith. "I'm going to use the charm Browser gave us." He turned to Libya. "What's your name, and I'll cast a charm." Libya? Thought Libya. Libya, that's a nice name. Yes, there are two kings in this area of the land, King Daemantade and King Fatewright. There should be more kings south of us. King Daemantade came to our kingdom to attack us. We escaped with Browser's help. Do you know Browser? Libya thought a moment, shook her head. Commander Cogsmith glanced around. He knew others had also cast the charm, and they were in a meeting of sorts. He looked back at Libya. Let me think. Several people helped Browser and gave him magic. Bradley was one of them, thought in Commander Kupcha. Lydia turned and looked at the new person. She knew a Bradley. And the witch, thought in the king, as he entered the chamber. He too had cast the charm. The witch's name was Soflin. Surely you know the witch if you're visiting us like this. Someone get Cervic and see what he knows of this. King Fatewright looked back at Libya. I would offer you some water, but... He motioned up and down towards her. But in this form. In this form! This is awesome! Said a shorter, slimmer man who walked into the chamber carrying a text. Cast the charm, Cervic, thought the king. Her name is Libya, and the thoughts were that she didn't like our voices. Cervic was flipping through a few pages. He leaned the book towards the light. Oh, no, she wouldn't. Our voices will reverberate in her being. Charm, rethought the king. Oh, right, said Cervic. Then he thought, the text says that the tailors will hold the old knowledge and pass it to the new lead linker, and they will teach her ways that she can connect her people until they can gather together again. One way is of course the charm we already know. Another way, Cervic continued, running his finger along the text. Libya just looked all around her at all the people. There were a few small fires here and there, and more people seemed to be working or at least moving around in another part of the cave. She thought, I was looking for a dragon. The tailors may need to rescue a dragon. I'm in a vision, and I'm not really here. Cervic looked up at her. Oh no, this isn't a vision. We call this night walking, and it is pretty awesome. You can walk around all night and still feel rested in the morning. He looked back down at the book. Yes, she is night walking. The king motioned to Libya and thought, can everyone see her? Can anyone hurt her while she's like this? He looked at Libya and thought, Browser had been in King Daemontade's prisons, so eventually we need to get those people out. It would be nice if you could visit there like this, and then give me the information of how many prisoners and where they're located, how many soldiers are guarding them, thought in Commander Cogsmith. The king glanced over, and he looked back at Libya. Yes, things like that. He looked back at Cervic. Libya also looked at Cervic as she realized that she might need to notice a lot of things, just like with her vision, and the tailors were all telling different parts. Others can see her, thought Cervic, but they have to know the old ways. And there are charms to use to hurt someone in this form, especially if she does things such as spying. Those things make her more vulnerable. But I'm not calling it spying, thought the king. My purpose is to rescue innocent people. He turned and looked at Libya. You need to know that. The old ways were very connected to intentions. I'm not intending harm. I'm trying to right wrongs. I'm trying to help whatever people are still alive. It's not like the people in his prisons are there because they killed someone or they stole something. No, they're there simply because, or to work the mines without pay and away from their families. King Damantade has done many, many wrongs against many people, and it is long past time to stop him and help the people. Those are my intentions. Libya's eyes were wide. She didn't want to go to King Damantade's, but then she thought that the tailors went, and there were some going now to rescue the baby dragon. But then she thought of the sticks that broke where she was practicing. Her pa had told her to find dragons and then rescue him and the people in her village. But the tailors had her learning a lot of things, and it would take her some time to learn to fight the soldiers. Commander Cogsmith saw her fright. Libya, sweetheart, we understand that you are young. I understand that. I assure you that my king, King Fatewright, is telling you these things to see if you can do them. If you cannot, there is no punishment. There is only hope. We are stuck here in this cave right now. We want to know if we can rescue the prisoners. We want to know if there are any dragons not under potions like Browser's dragon, Dronsnide. We will have to have dragons to rescue. And if not, we may need to find another location, much farther away from King Damantade's kingdom. Whatever you can do to help us as we help the people, we will appreciate. Yes, agreed the king. I want to help the people. And the first thing I need is information. That's all I'm asking of you, really. Can you use this form and get me information? If not, can you teach me how to do this? Or me, thought in several commanders. Teach me and I will go with you, thought in Commander Cogsmith. I'm sure more than one pair of eyes will be beneficial. Beneficial? Thought Libya. Helpful, useful, advantageous, thought in the king. Oh, thought Libya. The tailors have taught me a lot of things. I don't remember night walking as one of them. But I will ask. I don't want to leave out steps. That is fair, stated the king. We will await your return and be ready for any lessons you have for us. Yes, thought Cervic. The text mentions visions and vision walking as well as the night walking. Hopefully the tailors will know which one is the best. Libya nodded her head and then turned around to leave. She saw the golden dust trail, and she reached out her hand to touch it. Suddenly, Libya sat up in the camp. As she did, Elloni and Baldian raised their heads and looked at her. Lydia sat up. What's going on? Soflin smiled gently. The universe continues to smile. It's been a long time since anyone was able to night walk. Even myself. I used to night walk, but then the people couldn't see me anymore, so I stopped. I wonder if I can do it again. Libya, did you just walk around, or did you find someone? Who were you checking on? I saw several soldiers. One was Commander Cogsmith, and one was Commander Kupcha, and I met a king. She looked at Lydia. There's another king, and he wants to rescue people from King Damantade. Do you remember how Paul told us that the soldiers took Paul Reiser to the mines? I remember Paul Reiser giving me a cookie one day when I was out in the village, and I was so sad that the soldiers took him. King Fatewright? Asked Soflin. How is he doing? Are they still in their cave? King Damantade hasn't found them, has he? I don't think so, stated Libya. King Fatewright wants me to night walk to King Damantade's kingdom and bring him information so he can rescue people or dragons. If I can't, and I can't teach him or one of his soldiers how to do it, then he's going to move far away. Well, we don't want that, stated Soflin. I think in the morning we will fly the rest of the way to the tailors, and they can reteach me to night walk. She looked at Lydia. And teach you too. Then tomorrow night we will go back to King Fate-Right. If the night walking doesn't take too long to get there, then maybe we can also go to King Damon Tate's. We will want to take some soldiers or commanders with us because they will know what they need to know to plan. That sounds scary, stated Lydia. I know, said Libya. I never wanted to go to King Damon Tate's, but shortly after I met Elloni, she was saying that I needed to go there. Most likely, King Damon Tate's soldiers won't be able to see us, stated Soflin. I'm excited that King Fate-Right and his soldiers were able to see you, Libya, and I see this as important. But maybe after we help King Fate-Right, then we can night walk and find Bradley, Broman, and Coulter. What did I miss? Thought Keechan as she scampered into Libya's lap. Are we leaving in the dark? Libya chuckled and thought with the little mouse. Then they lay back down and slept until the first light of dawn showed through. Hector had moved debris and found a few empty chambers last night. When it got too dark to see, he slept in one. He was in the line of homes that were farther south, and most of them didn't have chambers because of water issues. Hector would continue his search in the morning. He planned on going to his wife and Pa last, or near last, because he knew where they were, and he knew they had stores to eat. Okay, writers, that is the end of chapter 3. I just realized that I speak about the old ways here and in my version of our cave story. But the old ways are a bit different in both stories. In the cave story, they can astral jump or link, which ultimately moves their physical body. And here, night walking is more like astral projection because the golden dust is like the cord. But here I call it an anchor, and the person has to place the anchor. But in astral projection, the cord automatically attaches if the person is still alive. This is just fun stuff. I hope you are including some of this phenomena in your story. Leave a comment below on what you're including, and also leave a comment if you have had exposure to some of these things. Maybe some person you know in your life is a medium, or they are a seer, or something. Just fun stuff. Maybe you've read some books and that's the exposure you have. It's all fun. I also saw several mistakes up there that I need to fix. And the thing is that a lot of times after I turn off the video from filming, it's just like, I don't remember the mistakes. So I'd have to go back and reread it. And the book will be reread again somewhere along the line. So sometimes I just say, okay, I'll catch it next time. So that's the way it is. Join me Tuesday for us to get a little jargon. We will not have a writing prompt because we have written 3 weeks in a row. But the following Tuesday, we will add to our cave stories again. And join me Friday for Elloni's Pride Book 2, Regrouping, Chapter 4, Meeting Browser. This is a fun chapter. I can't wait to share it with you. Visit my website, bymckella.com, and read some character bios. If you read some, then leave a comment on which ones you have read. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe and the bell so we can continue to write together. And other people will have a higher chance of finding this video and this channel, since your likes will push the video out to a greater audience. Thank you for joining me today. I really appreciate your participation. If you know someone who would like this video, then please share it with them. This is Michaela with Write with Michaela. Bye for now.